currently at Egmont Key. That is outside of Tampa. And if you look right out there, let me zoom in, is the Skyway Bridge. There's a pontooner today. There's a couple fishing boats out there. There sure have been a lot of fishing boats over there. I don't know what they're going for, but I've seen charters and private boats alike. As a matter of fact, I think I saw them here yesterday when we pulled in, but I'm not really sure. Either way, there's a whole bunch of bait fish over there. You can see the seagulls going up and down and all that. It's pretty cool. They're after something. We went from Anclote to Gulfport and from Gulfport to here. The Anclote to Gulfport, you'll see a lot of that online. The Gulfport to here, you would not see a whole lot of. There's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, we motored the whole way, so it really wasn't a whole lot of interesting stuff other than it was kind of boring. So we didn't really record a lot of that. Also, if you look at my bow right now, you'll see how up and down that thing is going, and this is moderate. It was 3 times worse than this just a little while ago. The winds are finally calming down. The winds were coming straight out of the south, which meant we were going south, so we were nose into the wind, and I didn't really want to tack a lot all day. I wanted to get down here, get anchored in, get ready, because we wanted to explore Egmont Key, but unfortunately with the waves like they are, I can't really get the dink out because it's, you know, the bouncy up and down and trying to do it doesn't work very well. So we decided we're going to go that way over there. And let's see, over there somewhere is an opening for the intercoastal, and we're gonna try the intercoastal. Now, I've said in the past, I don't like to motor, I don't like to go intercoastal, I don't like to do a whole lot of that. However, it's a different story. The winds and the waves and the way things are, it's low winds and high waves. And because of that, it's just a rough ride. It's not a matter of, you know, being able to sail or not being able to sail. It's just a matter of this for 24, 48 hours. And honestly, we wanted to go to the intercoastal anyway to, you know, at least experience it one time. As it turns out, the winds died down. I mean, it got to where it was almost dead flat in the evening time. So Becky and I decided to do a little bit of exploration. So I dropped her off over at a small beach, and then I went out to see what those fishermen might be catching. Turns out they were catching bait. I mean, I did catch a couple of small fish, but they were still catching bait. Winds died off and it was absolutely beautiful out there. I mean, gorgeous. So we decided to stay another night. It looks like that was a mistake. These waves and winds are coming out of the east, which is behind me back there. And well, it's been a wild ride. Here, let me show you. They said bay and inland waters would be a moderate chop. I think this is a little more than a moderate chop. So I let out a bunch more chain all the way back to the nylon. I think I've got probably about 200, 220 feet out altogether of road. And well, that anchor's set in pretty good right now, so we'll just let the Lord handle it tonight. And well, we won't be sleeping, but we'll see how it goes. See you in the morning. So why would I let out more road? Well, first of all, I'm not going to get too much into anchoring or how it's done or any of these other things. But what I am going to get into is taking the stress off of the vessel. See, when the wind and the waves pick up, it doesn't matter how much road you have out, be it line or chain or both. What's going to happen is it's going to create more stress and more duress on the end of your vessel, on the bow or the bowsprit or the Samson or whatever cleat you have your road attached to. We want to ease that stress. Now, if you take a chain and pull it tight, it snaps, it doesn't give. A bungee cord, when you pull it tight, it's giving, it's absorbing the impact of the snap. That's why I use a snubber when I anchor when I'm on all chain, so it takes the impact of the snap. But I needed more absorption because the weather was getting more rough, the waves were getting higher, the winds were getting a little more stronger, and when that happens, it puts more stress on the end of the bow of your boat. I have 180 foot of chain, and behind that chain I have attached a 3/4 inch nylon rope. Now that nylon rope stretches like a bungee cord. So Why would I let more road out? Well, if you ever have a short bungee cord, it only stretches so far. If you have a longer bungee cord, it stretches longer. I needed a longer bungee cord to absorb more of the shock that was stressing the bow. That not only took the duress and the stress off of the front of the vessel, but it also slowed the impacts down and it didn't jolt the vessel as much, which means I was able to rest better. We all know that's a good thing. Made it through the night. God is good. We are still at the exact same spot where we left off, meaning we didn't drag anchor, not even a little bit. She held in really good. So I did have to fix a couple of things on the bowsprit, and yes, I did get a bowsprit baptism at least twice, meaning the bowsprit dipped in the water and me with it. No big deal. I was lifelined in, we were good to go. But as soon as this dies down a couple hours, we're getting out of here. I'll see you then. The trip to the next anchorage was kind of nice. I mean, we motored most of the time, but you can tell we didn't have very many boats around us. We pretty much had the bay to ourselves because of the high winds. Paid a little bit of attention to the graphic a second ago, you know that we went through 2 bridges. Now, we didn't go under them, we literally went through them. Drawbridges are some of the coolest things on the water. We absolutely love going through drawbridges. Well, we're gonna speed this up for you a little bit, but man, this thing's cool. Yeah, we saw a lot of really expensive yachts come through. When I went to put up the Hooch today, I found a couple of rips in this seam here. So needless to say, we could let it go and, you know, it could get a little worse, or we could take care of it. So that's what we're doing. So this is Becky taking care of it. All done, but some of you might want to know what a Hooch is. Well, in the Army, we called it a Hooch, but basically it's just a kind of a tent that goes over the boom. Here, take a look. Yeah, some people call them a boom tent, some people call them a tent, whatever, cover, boom cover. Anyway, I call it a Hooch. I mean, you'd be really amazed at how much that thing actually does cool off downstairs. It is quite the difference. Best on the water business idea ever. This guy put a pontoon boat like next to the bridge here where all these fishing boats go in and out there. He's actually selling bait off of this little pontoon boat. It's about a 12 by, I don't know, 10 platform. He's got a hole cut in the middle of it for the big fishing cage. If you look at his skiff, you can see all the water being pumped through all of the tanks that he has on that little skiff to the right. That is where he puts all the fish in that he catches out further out, and then he sells them to passerby fishermen right there off of the little pontoon boat. Absolute genius. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, by all means, hit that like button. It helps us out tremendously. If you know somebody that this video is going to help, or you think they'll enjoy it, by all means, share it with them. And of course, if you want to see more of us, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Now, go be awesome.